Hey guys, Jay here. So this is my attempt to make a short and focused video on the guide for my Autosparker or Lazy Sparker. This is a planner that I made on Path of Building. I think this is probably the best planner right now that you can do. I also have the Maxroll link, which I will link in the description. It will lead you to this version of the planner. You can select between the tree number 1, which is level 84, which is where I recommend you to start playing the build. Before that, you can go for Gemling Legionnaire, stat stacking, Pillar, Vicage God setup for leveling. I think that is the optimal and the best way, the strongest way that you will cruise, breeze, crush, whatever you want through the campaign and the early stage of the end game as well. It is an extremely strong build, but in order to effectively transition into this build, I would recommend you to go ahead and level up with the staff stat stacking. At level 84, why do I recommend this level? 84 is the level that you can use this Earthbound staff. This is the core item of the build that make it function for clearing at least. It triggers the spark on killing a shocked enemy. This spark skill can have multiple levels. It can have like from level 4, I believe is the lowest, and up to level 19. So level 84 is the level requirement for you to actually wear the level 19 version of the Earthbound Voltaic Staff. As you can see here, Grand Spark level 19. Before level 84, you cannot wear it. This requires you to have level 84, right? So this is the level that I recommend you to go for this build. And then obviously the tree here, tree number 1 here is for level 84. Tree 2 is for level 95, which I think is the end point of the build. But if you are crazy and you get level 100, here's the tree for level 100. Anyway, the rest of the guide I am going to talk in POB. Why POB? Well, POB actually show you a little bit better, and I would highly recommend you can go for, by the way, sorry for tapping too much. You can just check stuff in here. As you can see the gear, but I don't think this is like easy to see because it is all blue text. So all the notes that I have on each and every single item is kind of like, it looks confusing, right? So we will be able to see so much better in path building. So right here, obviously this is going to be the skill tree. You can select the level 84 version, level 95 version of the build, and level 100 version of the build. So you know what to go for. And by the way, the difference between a level 84 and a level 95 is literally 1, 2, 3, 4 more jewel socket, and then a couple of points that you spend traveling to those sockets. Anyway, for the skill, it's pretty much the same. I do have some notes here for every single thing, including and not limited to the links that I use or I recommend you to use for searching for every single item that is a rare item. For uniques, obviously you can search for the name of the item. Sometimes you can search for the corruption as well if you want to, but the rare items is mostly where people struggle with, and I have created the search link for every single slot, including the jewels, and yeah, you can just easily search for what you want. By the way, the price of the items that I'm using for this build is just keep going up, so there's no way that I can control it. So I'm sorry if you know this build later and you want to follow it. Probably you will need to spend more money or more currency. The skill, you can see it here. The skill, actually, I think the skill you can see it much better, much easier in the Maxroll gear, the Maxroll link here, but you can also see it here. You can just select whichever. By the way, this spark 4 links is the 4 links for the trigger spark, and the 5 link or 5 socket, 5 support gem here is going to be the self cast. And last but not least, the items. You can see here I have every single item listed here. The rares, I am listing the recommended stat that you should look for all the rares. This is a very good ring. This is a less good ring but more budget ring. This is for belt. And you will see that a lot of these items have the red text under it. And this is where Maxroll does not really support and show you clearly. So here I have a lot of notes on each and every single item. So if you want to check it out, for example, this belt, I have the any elemental resistance is very good. The more the better. And ingenuity is obviously still the best in slot. So you know that ingenuity is eventually going to be the best belt for this build. But before that, you can go for budget option like this one. And this is the rare belt. You can have the link here to search for the belt. I already have it. What you do is copy it and you go for and you paste. And there you go. You have the belts option that I would recommend you to go for. When you search for all of these rare items, by the way, please go ahead and look for the balance in your resistances. If you are capping a particular resistance with other gear slot, you should look for, the other resistance that you really need. For example, this build, because we are using the Alpha's How, so it already have a lot of core resistances. So you should look for, you should scroll down a little bit and get things like this one. For example, it has more fire and more lightning, not as much cold. That's pretty good, right? If you have like a lot of lightning and fire resistance from your rings, for example, you need some cold, then you can look for some cold. So make sure to balance it out. This is just a general search for, in general, good items, right? So yeah, if you want to, make sure to read the red text that I got on these rare items. And sometimes I do explain a little bit of like mechanic in here, so if you care about it, go ahead. Anyway, the notes here is going to include a bunch of disclaimer. This is like the disclaimer, and then some of the setup for the gems, right? This is some potential upgrade for the build. I should go ahead and do this. This is some potential upgrade for the build if you want to go like even stronger in prices. And this is optional if you are struggling with damage early on, especially. If you get this build properly set up, you will not have any problem with damage, at least for clearing. And yeah, this is also my recommendation for the best unique corruption. So that is everything I want to share with you in this video today. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy this kind of content. Once in a while there's no gameplay, but again, if you want to see gameplay, how this build looks like, if you have not seen it yet, go ahead and look at all the links that I leave in the description. It is going to include links of me clearing like Citadel's tier 15 maps, tier 16, doing some bosses, tier 1, tier 2 bosses. I have not progressed into tier 4 because I want to keep my gaming experience of the game itself to be as authentic as possible. I really want to progress myself. I don't want to buy the fragment to actually progress it. The next time I do it, I might do that. But now I actually literally just farming for all the fragments myself, including bridges, expedition, simulacrum, and even the ritual. I don't even have any audience for the king yet for ritual, so I want to keep that as authentic and as intended for solo playing as possible. Obviously I still play in trade because I want to make like build guides and stuff like that. A little bit of a rambling there. So again, thanks so much for watching, and I hope this is going to help some of you guys out there, especially if you are newer to the game. This should be providing more details and should be easier to track than the previous mobilytic that I've been using. From now on, I probably use POB, and then I will paste the link of the Maxroll in the description. You can go here if you have the path building already. If you have the path of building already installed on your computer, you can just click open in POB. It will pop up like this, and you click on open in path of building. Right? You'll see it will pop up in my path of building. Obviously, it's going to load. It will take a little bit, and then it will load into the game, and now you can start to see stuff in POB. Again, I recommend you to look at the items in POB. You can look in here But yeah, at least this is not my preference. At least it is not my preference, right? So yeah, and even this one, I think I don't understand why the status looks like this. In the game, Moria Invictus, as you can see, is so much easier to see. You will see immediately this is attribute and mana, the best thing, right? So yeah, thanks for watching. Sorry for rambling, and see you in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe, please. Peace.